experiment.
Yes.
So I know it's probably a nice sunny day outside, but please watch this for the next few minutes, because today we're going to be helping another sort of Latvian. You're following the Latvian connection, Pavel. Hope you're there. Give us a thumbs up. I saw you giving some thumbs up on the screen earlier, because Pavel wrote, for those of you who've been following, in the comments, we ask people what their big problems are or what their issues are, and we thought we could talk about some of these in the live stream. So if you've got something to add, please stick it in the comments. If you've got a question, don't be afraid. Okay, Pavel's given a big old thumbs up, so that's great that you're here. So we wanted to talk a little bit about his project, and it's really cool, actually. So what he's doing is, like, I know Pavel from a while back, and he's kind of a fun guy. He's an interesting guy. He's always trying new things, especially with games and entertainment. And he's got involved with a game called Mafia. Now, I've never played Mafia.
No,
it sounds quite evil, but it's sort of like a mystery game. It's a little bit like a murder mystery. You play it with a group of friends, and there's all kinds of different rules and different ways that you can play it, but you sort of figure out who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, who can you trust. And it's sort of a social gameplay experience. You play it around the table with a group of friends. And so Pavel has made a sort of mafia club, I guess you could call it, where people come and play the game. And it's just getting started, and it's getting started in Kolding, which is a small town in the middle of Denmark, known for great design. And I think it's like the going to be a city of design or something. UNESCO designed something. It's super duper. And this is where Pavel is running his Mafia workshops. So I made some notes for you, and we're going to go over, because Pavel posted a lot of the problems that he's going through. And if you know somebody else who's working in the event industry, or is maybe working with games or having game nights or loves playing board games, please invite them to this live stream, because that's what we're going to talk about. So so Pavel had a problem about growth. How do you grow something that's starting up? And this is a problem for everybody, because no matter what it is, you always want to be bigger, you always want to be better, right?
Same as us.
Exactly, exactly the same as us. So growth can be a tricky thing, but what you want to do is you want to look at the product or service that you're providing and try to encourage growth directly into that product or service. So in Pavel's case, he's playing a game or a series of games. I think he plays about 4 games. They last about an hour each. And what you can start to do is you can start to add in things into your gameplay that encourages you to grow. So Pavel tells me that his main growth is by word of mouth, which is a great way to grow, and it's something that I would consider keeping up doing. You don't need to spend big money on adverts, but you might want to think about how you design the games. Is there a way to modify the game so that you you get a benefit if you bring a friend? So a great way to do it is to say, you know, oh, it's like Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club and then everybody talks about Fight Club. What if you can give your players some kind of advantage if they bring a friend? Now, the easiest and most simple, straightforward way is to say you charge somebody $5 every time they come, but if they bring a friend, then the fee is $1, for instance. So they're incentivized in that way. Or maybe during the game, they get a special extra bonus card or something that helps them out, so that you reward their friends. Or maybe you sell it in a way that if you bring your friends, you can work together strategically, something like that. Just a simple reminder to people to bring their friends next time is a great way to grow, especially when you're small. So I would think about that. You can also add in like viral elements into your game. There's a brilliant book called Growth Hacker Marketing that you might want to check out that talks a lot about this. And this is where, when you're dealing with people who are doing something fun, put in opportunities for them to help you grow. So a great example is one of the things that I do at my Factory of Imagination workshops when I want people to grow is I bring all kinds of fun things like lab coats and goggles and hard hats and funny props. And these are exactly what you can use in a Mafia game as well. Or maybe not goggles and lab coats, but you can bring some costumes, some elements, something like that, and give people the chance to take photographs, post them on Instagram and share with their friends, or post on Facebook or Twitter. And you can even make that part of the game somehow. For example, can you reveal a secret that's only on your Facebook page that they have to check out? Can you use a secret Instagram hashtag that reveals something in the game? It may mean changing the rules of the game a little bit and changing how you do things, but you're a creative guy. So yeah, this is really nice. So Pavel's asking now, he says, I had an idea to have a closed club for Erasmus members only and their friends. So basically for everyone but exclusive. Now, this can be a really nice idea, combining exclusivity with inclusivity. You want to make the people who are there feel a bit special, and you want to make it a place where you want to bring your friends. So think about how you can make your Erasmus members or your core target feel special from the other players. And it could be as simple as a ranking system. It could be as simple as if you come to 3 events in a row, you get a special badge or you get a special tick or something like that. Maybe you could even take some of the language of the Mafia itself and you can move it up so that only one person each month can be the Don of the month or something. And you work your way up so that you're celebrating people, give them an informal rank. Just like a high score in a video game encourages people to go back and play. And it's very, very simple. Okay. Oh, so Pavel says he's thinking that maybe it's a photo-free zone. And yeah, that's a good point, because sometimes you want to maintain anonymity, but try to find a place where people can take photographs, where they can share, whether it's in the break time or something like that. It's going to help you with the growth, and you don't have to pay for it. That's the best thing. It could be as simple as encouraging people to use the right hashtag or something like that. So give that a try. See how it goes. Now, another one of the questions that Pavel was asking was about the business model, because when you start doing these things, a lot of people, and I'm sure people watching this, you've got like a creative hobby and it's kind of for fun, and you want to bring in some money, but you're not really sure how to do it. And when you start off, it's a tricky thing to do. So one thing that you can do is be really informal about it, really relaxed about it. And you can just say, well, we're a pay what you want kind of event. So you don't have to charge any money for the tickets, but at the end of the event, you put around a hat or a credit card machine or a mobile pay or whatever, and everybody puts their money in the hat. And it's perfectly fine when you do something like that, in a beautiful hat like this.
You can just use it.
And to pass it around and say, you know, if you enjoy it, we suggest a donation of this many dollars, but you don't have to. If you can't afford it, then that's okay. And you can make it really clear that you say that each event costs us this much money to put on. So if you want to come next week, if you want this to continue, put a bit of money in the pot. And the more people that come, the less money you have to put in the pot, because the prize is split. And that can be a really simple way of just getting enough cash to know, is this something that people are willing to pay for, or is this something that people want for free? Because so many times there's so many great ideas, but I'll be honest, people sometimes only want certain content for free. And if that's the case, if you pass the hat round and not a single penny or krona or dollar goes into the hat, then you know that, okay, you're going to have to look at some new revenue models from outside. That's when things get a little bit more complicated. But that's a great thing to start with. Now, this was fun. I wonder what you think about this. So another one of Pavel's big problems was positioning. And this is super tricky when you're, so to say, using somebody else's idea. Because I know, Pavel, you didn't invent the Mafia game. There's lots of different Mafia clubs, and this is the same for any kind of thing that you're doing that someone can get somewhere else. It's sort of like a franchise, like McDonald's. You're making the same burger as everybody else, so why should they come to your one and not play it at home or something like that? And this is a real challenge. And when you're first starting out, it's great to take an already existing game with already existing rules and lay it out there. But you can start to innovate a little bit and find what you do that is different. So it could be in the way that you play the game, it could be the setting that you have the game, or it could be that you change it from Mafia to something else, a game of your own invention. We see this a lot with escape rooms, which are a similar kind of thing. We were talking earlier about escape rooms, that you play the escape room once and then you play somebody else's and somebody else's and somebody else's, and every escape room is different, right?
Yeah, so you will not go to the same escape room twice. So it needs to be very challenging and interesting.
Exactly. So if you can think of a smart way to make it your own in whatever way possible, then people will come to you specifically for your experience rather than thinking that they can get it at home. And there's a million different ways that you can do it.
I was having a laugh actually about this, because judging by your name, Pavel, you probably have a Russian background, so it would be fun to have kind of like Russian roulette type of thing, you know?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I know Pavel very well, and I can imagine that he would do very well as a big like mafia boss or something, so with the, you know, the gangster style. I'm pretty sure horses' heads and things are something that he can get hold of when push comes to shove. So don't be afraid of that. And this is something that we see all the time, trying to find a way to make your style, your gameplay completely unique. So, who's watching with us? We should say hi.
Oh yeah, there are some more people joining. Hi Bob, hi William, hi Aldis and Liana. We see Alex is also watching, Sarah, Esben, a lot of people are watching.
Of people.
So give us a thumbs up or a heart or whatever you feel like.
Yeah, give us a share, invite your friends if you're enjoying learning about Pavel's story. And maybe, Pavel, you could, for those of you who are watching in Colling, I know we've got lots of fans in Colling, post the link to your Mafia group right now, so that if you're interested in finding out what it's all about, you can go to one of his events. I know that he posts his events on Facebook, so if there's anybody in the community who wants to find out what it's all about, like I've never played.
Me neither.
Mafia.
I would love to try.
Yeah, but it's a growing trend, right? The board game industry is a massive trend. Role-playing games are coming back. So yeah, this is definitely something. And okay, so there's the link Pavel's pasted right there. So make sure that you check that out. So yeah, when we talk about positioning as well, you might want to say what kind of audience you want to attract, because you were mentioning at some point you're thinking about writing your thesis on using Mafia style tools for training or for team building or for professionals, something like that. But at the moment you're attracting lots of students, and maybe students are more in the category that they expect things for free and they can play there, to be honest. Right?
I know that for sure.
And if you can play the game at home, then why would you pay to do it, even if the experience is better in what you provide? So if you're aiming for that more professional market, make sure that you use that to bring it in. So you might want to rename your game. So you might, instead of calling it Mafia, you might want to call it Mafia Pro or something like that. And then you call it the game for professionals to test their skills. And once you've played the game, you might want to give about 15 minutes of feedback, management style feedback, where you say, oh, did you see what happened here? Did you see how this person handled this situation? Did you see how they communicated? Did you see how they manipulated the situation? What happened? Who won? What was going on? And maybe draw parallels to the business world, to the coaching world, team building, that kind of thing. And especially if you can find ways that might take traditional management team building ideas and inbuild them into the game. So at certain points in the game, you stop and show how each person is growing or developing, then this can really give you an extra boost. And you might want to check out Lego Serious Play. I don't know if you know Lego Serious Play.
I have done something with yeah, it wasn't maybe exactly that, but we had also in our organization, there was a strategy meeting and we used Lego for that. And it actually, we discovered so many new ways on how to move the organization forward. So if it's something that you can connect to the Mafia game, that would be perfect, because I think the market for that is just immense here in Denmark.
So yeah, just as Lego is a kid's toy, but then you put something on top of it to make it a management tool, you can start to think about that as well. And a great way to do this is to find an experienced management consultant friend. There's hundreds of them, and invite that person to play the game, and then invite that person with you to develop it into something more solid. So if you like this idea, give us a thumbs up or some love or some hearts or something like that. And yeah, anybody else who's joining us?
Yes, there are a couple of people joining, my Latvian friends.
Oh yeah, hi to everybody in Latvia. Good luck with Eurovision tonight.
Oh yes.
Okay, and then the final thing that Pavel talks about was about venue issues. How do you find the right place? And this is super tricky, because he was looking at all kinds of different places and also in restaurants and things like that. But his problem is, if you hold it in a restaurant and it takes several hours, the restaurants need a lot of money because they're trying to turn the tables and all this kind of thing. So this can be a bit of a tricky thing to do. So what I would say is find the venue that fits well for your audience, and find a venue that that looks good, that sets the atmosphere, that gives people an authentic experience. Don't just hold it in a venue because it's cheap or because it's available. Find the one that gives your audience the best experience. And then a great way to help monetize it is you can always take them from the venue to a nearby restaurant, nearby bar, nearby cafe, something like that. And bars and cafes and restaurants will love to sponsor you if every week you're bringing 20 new customers to their restaurant. So if it's Friday, you play 3 or 4 hours of Mafia, and then you go over to the restaurant, and you want to incentivize it by saying, if you come over to the restaurant, you get an upgrade to your game, you get a free ticket for next week, you get feedback on your strategy, whatever it is. So that way you're not doing the whole thing in the restaurant. You're using the restaurant for what they're good at, which is great food and great networking and all that. Don't be afraid to say, okay, we're going down the street a little bit for our next thing. Just book the table, do it like that. Okay. Another thing to think about, and this is something that I worked really hard on with Steffi and the Factory of Imagination team, is we had a mega event called Factory of Imagination that had loads of all of this crazy stuff, and a whole warehouse full of random junk, and we wanted to take that to other places. And the problem is, or the advantage is, you've got lots of great events around the world where your content could fit in. So there's maybe hundreds of different team building weekends and management training seminars and all that kind of stuff where Pavel's Mafia content might fit, but you can't necessarily take all of the stuff with you. So what we did at the Factory of Imagination was we stuck with a regular sized suitcase, and we ended up weighing like 23 kilograms, because I think that's the limit of what you can take on an airplane, right? And so we had to figure out, how can we get the most out of the Factory of Imagination experience in only one suitcase with 23 kilograms. And so we redesigned our workshop, and we used things like a lot of sound effects that help fill the space, and sound effects are very easy to do. We had a lot of costumes, and one thing that I love is we use lots of black and yellow hazard tape and big hard hats and silly goggles and things like this. And once you can start to figure out a way to make almost like a pop-up Mafia experience, then you become venue independent, and you can go around and run your games in schools and in bars and in restaurants and in hotel lobbies and things like that, if you can find a way to distill the essence of the game into something small. Now, this is tricky to do. It takes a bit of time. But if you put yourself in these extreme limits, then you can be, you know, a one-guy mafia machine pulling your suitcase behind you. And this is a great way to get a lot of money, because maybe individuals won't pay for a ticket to play the game, but companies, schools, businesses, organizations will definitely pay money for their team building weekends, their fun after dinner activities, whatever it is.
So think more B2B than B2C.
Exactly, because I'm pretty sure there's plenty of CEOs who will want to stab each other in the back and play all of the espionage and dirty dealings that go on behind the scenes in a typical game of Mafia. And also think about, are there any other similar or complementary games that you can throw in? So instead of playing 4 games each night, could you mix it up so that every week there's a new random game that you test? And this will give you new ideas to develop in new ways. Even if it's just a half-an-hour mini game of something, it will allow you to find out what works and what doesn't. And in that way, it will allow you to grow as time goes on, so that you can be running Mafia nights on Monday, and I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons on Tuesday, Cards Against Humanity on Wednesday, Murder Mystery on Thursday, and then you can start to see how it can realistically become a business, especially if you've got people moving from one game to the next, and some people become specialists in different games. So yeah, that's what we wanted to share with you, Pavel. So give us some thumbs up or likes or whatever in the comments, and hi to everybody who's been watching. And yeah, if maybe we should say, if anybody who's been watching this video has got any more ideas or questions for Pavel or wants to get involved, what should they do?
I think they should just leave their ideas and questions in the comment section, so we can also interact a little bit more and maybe come up with greater ideas afterwards.
Yeah.
So let's just use the community that we have here.
For sure. And we'd love to know from Pavel, if you try some of these ideas, maybe they'll work, maybe they won't, but we want to know how you get on, because we genuinely want to see you succeed, because it's a cool idea. So don't be afraid to come back in a couple of weeks and let us know how it goes. So send us pictures, send us ideas, let us know what things you're going to work on, and share it with the group. And yeah, if you found this useful in any way, please share this live stream or invite your friends or whatever it is that you want to do, because the more people that can join the community, the more questions we can get, the more people we can help, and we want to make it big. So I'm seeing a big heart from Pavel, so thanks. Nice, good work. And just so that everybody knows, we're going to be putting out some more videos across the internet. We've been working really hard. Sabina's been working super hard. She's coming out with a new series of videos that are going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. Related to sales, so it's going to be like sales stories with Sabina. So just keep yourself updated. The videos are going to come up soon. So if you're struggling with the money, she's the woman to help you. So I'm really looking forward to that. And thinking of struggling with money, because we are sort of just doing this for fun. If any of you find any of this useful and would like to donate to us, we have a PayPal donation link, which we'll put on in the comments. So it's totally pay what you want. Yeah, it would be awesome, because like here it's so hot in these ones. We really need a fan. And also we need some stools to sit on. You know? We just stood up, and we've got this blisteringly hot light, so we need to save up for some new lights. And we promise all the donations that we get, we're just going to roll into making more content, answering more questions, helping more people. So if this helps you make a profit, just remember us at the Dreammaker Academy and consider a donation. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's not mandatory. Perfectly fine. But let us know. So yeah, that's great. So everyone's going to share. This is exciting. Perfect. And we hope that you'll all join us in the Facebook group. If you're not on the Dreammaker Academy Facebook group, get in there soon. And we've got lots more content coming up in the next few days. And we're going to be hiding some of the content on some of our friends' Facebook pages as well. So we've got a nice little sneaky deaky. So if you've been asking us some questions somewhere else, you might find something showing up on your timeline in the next few days.
Yeah.
So enjoy the sun, enjoy a good game of Mafia, and
vote for Latvia International Eurovision.
Vote for Latvia. Yeah, now you all need to watch Sabina's second worst Eurovision song of all time, and that's going to be the unofficial theme tune for the Dreammakers Academy, right?
Yeah, unofficial one. Yeah. I'm coming up with new tunes for Dreammaker Academy, so you're gonna see maybe some more entertainment later on.
So yeah, have a wonderful day, and we both will see you very, very soon.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.